Welcome to the Boston's Big Four podcast. Cast. New news about music and sports every week, sometimes.
All right, we're back. Episode 102, Boston's Big Podcast. We got another special guest in the building. MonaVeli is with us.
Hello.
One of the hottest artists in Boston, in the Boston area right now, from Brockton, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me. The ride wasn't bad. Thank you.
Not
Thank
too
you. I'm
bad.
excited to be
not
here
too
too.
Far.
I think
No,
you're
not
the
at
first
all.
person to say that because someone, who was it that we were talking to, and they were like, because you said that you originally thought it would have been
Yeah,
Springfield,
'cause
and
I just-
someone literally said that. They were like, we're out in Springfield.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so Chase Murphy considered us he called us Western Mass.
That's
we
what it
were
was,
like,
yeah.
no, this is the South Shore.
That's kind of, that's
and
a
he was
force.
like, no, anything outside of Boston is Western Mass.
That's
So
a
it's
force.
like-
I think of Western Mass, I'm like Springfield, New York.
Right.
Like
exactly.
you're just going straight that way.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
But no, we're happy to have you, definitely.
Thank you.
We've been, like I said, I first heard about your music, I think, last year.
Mm-hmm.
You were featured on Humbeat's album.
Mm-hmm.
You've obviously done a lot of work with him.
Yes.
And then I noticed the Wants and Needs video that you dropped a few months ago, and I was like, okay, like this is
Locked in.
legit.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been doing music for?
Well, I've been singing since I could talk, and then I started rapping, like getting into poetry more when I was like 9 years old. But I had nowhere to record or anything, so it was kind of just poetry and just kind of writing. And then I got into the studio when I was like 15. For the first time, I was working with like a youth program in Brockton,
Okay.
and it was like a DJ program, and they put us in Sound Lab. And I don't know if you guys know about Sound Lab now, but like Jay Rose works out of there, C4. Yep. But yeah, so that was my first experience. And Stanza, he's a engineer from out there. He used to work there, and he was the first person that put me in the studio, the booth. And he did like a Brockton Youth Cypher.
Okay.
And I was the youngest. I was the only female, and it kind of like blew up locally. And that's when I was like, yeah,
Is
this
still
is
out? Can we find it?
Actually, I was looking because I was talking about on the last podcast I was on, and I went to look for it after, and I think it got taken down. But it was at like 20K views. I was like, oh my God, yeah.
That's good.
But yeah, it got taken off. My mother probably still has like a screen recording of it somewhere. But yeah, it was dope. But that was just like, I felt like home. I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I need to be doing.
So how long ago was that?
This was 2015.
2015.
Wow.
So I was 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then when did you start releasing music?
I dropped my first like single, I guess, like on SoundCloud, I think that same year.
Okay.
So 2015. And then when I really got serious with like, distribution and stuff like that, photo shoots and really, going hard with it. 100%, like 2017, I want to say, I started getting mentored by Dutch Rebel.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah,
she just put me onto a lot of like her connections, and I dropped 23 pounds. No, I dropped Days. That was my first. It's not on all platforms, but that was my first music video.
Okay.
And then I believe 23 pounds was the first like on all platforms.
Nice.
So yeah,
Well,
So
that
how'd
was
you
like,
link up
That's a
with
good
Dutch?
intro.
Yeah, right.
her manager at the time, actually, like back in 2017, saw me at the Sound Lab. And we used to have this thing called like Speak Your Truth at the Sound Lab, and it was like an open mic where like new artists would just come in and like perform. And the crowd, it was kind of like the Apollo, the crowd would like critique you.
Okay.
So I was it was interesting. I was a regular there, obviously.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Being that
Quick
I worked
step
there.
back. The Apollo in New York, the crowd will say things back to you?
Well, no, but I'm saying like it's
Oh,
like
it's so
very
intimate.
genuine. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
intimate
yeah.
and it's very genuine
Intimate,
energy.
yeah.
So
Sorry,
like
I
if you
misunderstood.
no, I'm sorry, but like if you bomb, then like you're gonna hear it. Like
Right.
people are gonna tell you like, yeah, you
Right.
know, you didn't know your words, or you don't perform with a full track. You need a show set, da da da. And we would give like ratings, but. Yeah, he used to come there. He did some work with Latrell and Jessica, who worked there at the time too. They were doing like development with them, and I'm sorry, I was being mentored by Latrell and Jessica at the time too, and they put me onto Dutch Rebel, her manager, and then he put her onto me.
Okay.
Awesome. We need a
Yeah.
community like that. So big. Putting people on.
Yeah,
Love that.
it definitely helped launch everything. So yeah, I'm very grateful for those connections.
Is there anyone that you have your eyes on to mentor?
To mentor, I don't think I'm in a space to mentor right now. I do handle my own. Yeah, I do handle my own marketing though. So like, there's a lot of people that I'll see, and I'm just like, oh, I just want to kind of like, like just if you would just do this a little more, you could have did this.
That they're not doing right, and you're like, I could help you. With
or just
that.
just not even not right, but just more of, and like stuff. Yeah, but I'm like I said, I'm very OCD about things. So like even I notice stuff that I could be doing more of. So I think everybody has room to grow.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So you've been dropping singles for a while.
Yes.
You got a project in the works.
Yes.
What are the plans for that?
Working on just getting my sound, and before I just jumped out there with a project and really just solidifying myself.
That's very important nowadays.
Yeah,
I feel like
I wanted to build a genuine buzz.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like we're at that point now, and especially with this Blue Check feature we got with Tsu Surf, the last song that just dropped.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the time now to really just start campaigning that we got like a whole project together and something to put out. And
so how'd the connection with Tsu Surf come about?
So my previous no, not really.
I was gonna say, because I just know he's worked with him.
Yeah, so no, he has, but I mean that kind of like is what manifested because I work with him, but that wasn't through him. My previous business partner, he saw that Tsu Surf was out in Boston and he was doing like open features or whatever. So he hit me up and he was like, hey, I got the money to throw down for a feature. Like, can you get something together? So I actually did hit up Hum Beats, and obviously he's produced a song. And I was like, yo, I got a feature with Tsu. That's your boy. I need some beats. I know you got something in the vault. So he sent me like a pack right then and there. I found a song, wrote it right then and there. Hours later, we went to Y-Sham, DJ Y-Sham. Went to her studio. She was like, I got you.
Hell yeah.
And we just laid it down. It was great vibes. It was dope vibes. He sat there. He wrote a full verse right there. He connected with me and Y-Sham. He was talking. We were vibing out. It was dope. It was a vibe,
Love
yeah.
it.
Yeah, sometimes you just get those email verses and
exactly
not bad either.
Yeah,
exactly.
no.
Like he could have just went into his notes and just pulled something, but he really it just fits so well with the song. Like that's why I was like I have to do something with it. It would like obviously, but I really wanted to make it something impactful because obviously it's coming from my heart what I'm saying, and the way he bodied it was just perfect. It was like flawless.
Absolutely, it's a great record.
Thank you.
So on this project, do we have a lot of features / can we name drop anybody?
I'm trying to think. There's still like 2 songs that I'm like looking for features for right now. As of right now, it's just me.
Okay.
Just like I said, just really me honing my sound. There is plans to have I don't want to say the name yet in case it doesn't go through. He's a very popular podcast host from Mass, and he could possibly. I talked to him about it. He agreed, but it's not sent in yet, so I don't want to say anything. But he could possibly be hosting the EP, kind of like Nicki Minaj. He has a very distinguishing voice. I'll say that.
Oh, is it G Flex?
If you guys say it, I might like.
Oh God, we have to guess now. All right. Oh my God.
Very distinguishing voice.
Is it Charlie Machine?
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah, but again, he didn't send nothing was sent in, but I already talked to him about it, so that's the plan.
Okay.
Because
awesome.
like kind of like Nicki Minaj and DJ Holiday. Like that's the vibes.
I like that.
That is sick.
He does have a distinct voice.
Yeah, and he's hilarious.
I love
like
that.
he's hilarious.
Love their podcast. We're a big
He's
fan.
hilarious.
Shout out to CWTFB radio.
And now it's been manifested, so if he doesn't do it now, it's documented. This is
I'm gonna have him do it now if he doesn't do it.
I'm available.
I just want to put out there, I'm also available. I'll do features.
I love it. He said, I'll do features. Love it.
There you go.
We had a whole segment on we did it on Goldmine and the Hero podcast where we just did ad-libs for a little while. We're like, some DJ is going to cut this out. It'll be on a song someday. We just made sound.
It's terrible because I'm actually like, I shouldn't say not good, but like ad-libs I struggle with. Like people who like
that's a tough thing.
Well, and it's like you really have to have your own thing.
Yeah.
Travis mastered that. I feel like I shouldn't burn him up
think-
right now, but
I think
he
Young
mastered
Jeezy-
that.
I think Young Jeezy has the best ad libs of all time.
I'd have to listen to him again.
That's my opinion.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to tangent too hard, but I do wonder, like, do ad libs always get done? Like, you listen to the track again, and you'll be sitting there, and when you feel like it, you blurt an ad lib, or do they just
people-
have like a soundboard of things you say? You know?
Oh yeah, no, that I need to make one of those. You just
Yeah.
gave me an idea because that would save me so much stress.
Owen's a human
And
soundboard, so he can probably
Yeah,
help
you
with
hear
that.
me.
I was gonna
beginning.
say, yeah, you should just send me in like a bunch of demo like
Just make a bunch
ad
of
libs.
noises.
Exactly. But I've seen people who go in and they'll do that. They'll lay down their ad libs first and then do the verse.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
wow.
and I was like, wow, you're a demon. That's
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 a
crazy
little
because.
wild.
I don't know
Yeah.
how you would know where to put them. You know? I guess.
I mean, yeah,
That's
I don't.
like-
Sometimes it helps people like figure out the energy and the actual direction. It's like when you hum a melody over something before you.
Yeah.
I guess that's how they do it. I would
that makes
assume
sense.
that's the
Griselda
mindset.
takes their ad libs very seriously.
Griselda, you said?
Yeah,
heard
Griselda.
of
Do you
them.
listen to them?
No, but I've heard.
They're big on the ad libs. I feel like that's like kind of a thing now. Like
I need
if
to
you can
practice.
have like a memorable ad lib.
Exactly,
Then
and that's why I said like people like Travis like mastered that.
Right.
Is there an ad lib more memorable than "skirt" though? Is
The
there?
way
Yeah, but
he's
too many
like
people
looked
have-
into the camera and like said
Yeah,
skirt,
it's-
like
That's my thing.
Too many people have used skirt at this point. It's
exactly,
played out.
like
It's
who
played
who
out
actually
now.
started that?
I don't know. That's a
I
good
thought it was
que-
Migos.
I feel like it was like Young Thug. I'm not sure. though.
Okay, so if you thought it was Migos, then it has to be Young Thug because everybody took from Young Thug. So
There you go.
I think I
That
think
is
that
fair.
means it was Young Thug.
I do know Young Thug has a song where he says skirt for like 20 seconds straight or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy also has a song where he talks about standing in the kitchen and skirting. It's
You know
about
what?
his
Soldier
very-
Boy was the first rapper to say skirt.
Then yeah, I was gonna
That's-
say yeah, because he was out before Thug. That's crazy.
I'm
That's
googling
crazy.
who first said skirt, and then we can get back.
And
on
I was gonna
topic.
say he's like the youngest nigga alive, and he's like did
Who?
everything before everybody. Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy, yeah.
He's like still 12 years old, and it's
he
like
still looks the same. As he did in
exactly.
2007,
He's like I
yeah.
invented the iPhone, and he's
Yeah.
like, it's
was
like,
like-
bro, how are
see
you
what he
younger
said?
than
he
Steve
was like,
Jobs?
he was like, I'm the CEO of Atari now. And like Atari tweeted, they're like, Soldier Boy is not the CEO.
Like, what are you saying? Why are you just
And
saying
then
shit?
Kanye didn't put his verse on the album and he was pissed about
Tight.
that.
Oh, Kanye straight up was like, "Did you hear?"
He was like, did you hear the verse? And then Soldier Boy's like, who cut your hair?
He was like, "I did." On the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Did you guys get to see the whole thing?
The podcast?
Yeah.
I watched some of it. The
Oh
Drink
my
Champs
God.
podcast with
Hilarious.
That is fun.
Kanye.
I should
Any
watch it.
Kanye content is worth
Hilarious.
watching.
And I was kind of like trying not to because I seen everybody who just woke up talking about it, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
wait,
it's
and
addicting,
then
though. You
soon
see
I go
Kanye-
on.
As soon as you see Kanye talking, you're
Exactly.
like, I need to hear this.
It's
You're
very
watching it like
interesting.
he's fucking crazy. He's such a
Right.
genius.
But
Like
he's
I don't
also-
even.
Like he says certain things, and you're like, oh, he's off the rails. Like he fucking lost it.
And
But
then it
you
all
listen
makes
to him
sense.
sit down for like an hour and actually talk, and you're like, wait, he actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even still, there were times where it was like, how'd we get here?
Right.
But it never not made sense. That makes sense.
He's
It kind
done
of just
some
would
things
get
that
kind of radical.
didn't make
but
sense, but like his explanations for them make you like you're like, okay, I
Yeah,
understand
it's-
what he was thinking. I guess.
Yeah,
At that time.
like I see the mindset.
right.
Not mad about it. You didn't
Right.
hurt anybody.
That's actually something that I love about podcasts is you can take like there's no such thing as just taking snippets. You can be like, hey, if you really want to listen to the whole conversation, like
Exactly.
it's not crazy. Like listen to what he's saying.
Exactly.
So that's I mean, Kanye almost went on the Joe Rogan podcast a while back, and they ended up
He
canceling.
was on it.
No, didn't they cancel it?
No,
didn't-
he was on it. It was like
What?
4 hours long, but it's just like him talking the whole time. And Joe Rogan.
Oh, they actually released that one. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. They can't. They postponed it very far. I actually
Yeah.
didn't watch the whole one, but yeah.
apparently
that was-
wasn't that good. I don't know.
Damn.
'Cause Joe
Yeah.
Rogan just let him talk the whole time. Like you gotta,
You gotta,
you know.
I was so proud of Noriega because he, as
That was a
drunk as
great
he
interview.
was like, okay, well, we're gonna like wrap it up, and
No,
like
they're-
so he kept, bringing him
I mean,
back.
there's a reason their podcast is doing so well right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
They're really good at interviewing.
Exactly.
They're amazing.
Get a little silly, but move things along.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
crazy how many
You
words
can't be
Noriega
intimidated
doesn't
by your
know, though.
guest. Like even if it's someone as big as Kanye, you got to be like, all right, like let's move. You know,
I think it's easier because Nori was like they're kind of best friends in a way, way too. So that probably made a little bit of a difference.
True.
Sorry, did you say that there's people he doesn't know? Or...
No, I said a lot of words he doesn't know.
Oh, words he doesn't
know. There was like 3 every podcast that I watch from Drink Champs. They'll say like it'll be at least 3 times, and Noriega's like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And it's just the funniest thing because it's like
regular words. Or
it's like I mean it'll be like college level words, but he's always drunk, so it's always fun to see him like mad excited about it. It's like
every once in a while you still learn a new word. You know what I mean? And you're like,
oh, all the time.
Yeah, no, it happens to me sometimes.
It's lit.
I'm like,
and you're like, wow, how old am I?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
This is gonna happen for the rest of my life if it's still happening right now. Right. That's kind of cool.
And then you just start using it in random places.
No, exactly. As soon as you learn it, you're like, oh.
I need to start writing them down though.
Yeah.
Because it sounds smarter.
I say dubious now. That's something I didn't used to say.
I like that word. I use very old woman words like cupboard, just for fun.
Cupboard.
Like like a.
Yeah. Or the Davenport.
Yeah, I say that a lot. I don't even know what it is.
I
just to piss my mom off.
If you just say as well instead of to, it makes you sound so much smarter.
Oh, yeah.
I say such as what. I had a friend of mine who used to say that, and that's like my new thing now.
There you go.
Yeah, a lot of little tidbits on this podcast.
Right? Little email hacks and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of saying sorry, say thank you for your patience.
I learned that on Instagram.
Yeah.
Instead, don't apologize. You say like thank you for your flexibility or your patience or whatever.
I did.
Instead of being like sorry I'm late.
That too.
Yeah.
I saw that too.
You don't apologize for shit now. No, I'm just waiting.
I like that. No, I like that.
I mean, like, we're sorry, but I'm not sorry. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, I say sorry all the time. Like, I've probably said it on this podcast a few times. I, like, have people at work tell me all the time. They're like,
stop apologizing. Yeah.
It's not even a thing to be sorry about. Like
you sneeze and you're like, I'm so sorry.
I say sorry to someone and they're like offended that I said sorry. They're like, don't apologize.
Yeah, no, I'm that person, but I also apologize a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
I feel like we all just want it all good. That's all.
Exactly.
You know? Like, don't make sure we're all on even.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No beef.
I like how you said that.
So, obviously, the Boston music scene, Boston hip hop scene, there's been like a lot of dope female artists in the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Bia obviously leading the charge, and then you got Oompa and Red Shades and Dutch Rebel, and Melia the model, and the list goes on. And I just feel like in the last few months, last year or so, you've kind of entered that conversation. Like you're in that group now.
Thank you. Yeah.
So
feels good.
when did you start to feel like you were kind of part of that scene?
Shit. Probably when I would love to say that, but honestly this year.
Yeah.
Like you just said, I'm trying to think of like an actual milestone. I don't know. I think just kind of the connections that you realize that you have now.
Right.
Like I kind of pretty much well connected in every circle that I know of in Boston.
Yeah.
Getting booked for things that I'm not connected to. Also, like you get what I'm saying? Just people finding me, going out of their way to find me.
Right.
But yeah, I don't like very, very recently actually, because like I just got nominated for like the New England Hip Hop Award for like Female Artist of the Year.
Yeah.
The Tsu Surf feature, I'm getting like followers and mentions out the woodworks for that. So it's like as of right now, I feel like getting mentioned on playlists and stuff like that.
Yeah, like once it takes on a life of its own.
Yeah,
really
it's kind of just like But yeah, I went on a press run before this for Wants and Needs, and I feel like that probably helped a lot because it gave me that opportunity to really connect with the people pushing the music out here, the podcast hosts and the radio like hosts and stuff like that. So I think that helped a lot too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out the whole press run thing. We'd like to be a part of those.
Well, you are.
We are.
You are.
What do you mean we'd like to be a part of
I was
it?
going to say, like, I mean, you're friends, but...
Yeah, we still...
I'm here for
we get
press.
hit up by the people, the important people.
That's true.
That's how because you guys interview most of my favorite people. That's how I got put on.
We are growing.
Stop underselling us, dude.
Humble beginnings, dude.
I mean, you said, I think you're past humble beginnings. You got cameras now. He said you got started on a phone.
Humble beginnings was when we were recording on a phone.
You got the big ring light now. I think
All right.
that's good. All right.
I
No.
can see.
Now we
I
got
can see we're the
MonaVeli
biggest
on the
podcast.
podcast. We made it now. All right.
Yeah. Well, considering that we didn't get voted Platform of the Year on Hip
We were
Hop
nominated. Though.
I was gonna say a nomination
We
is
were
like
nominated.
you know
Boston Music
I'm just
Awards didn't
bitter, so-
nominate us, but that's a different
the
story.
recognition feels like you know at least should
Recognition
be
is,
in
is nice. Like I was happy to see us on there.
because at least
Yeah.
you get an opportunity for people who like can't vote to be like she should win or they should win. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like people are actually rooting for you. You're making the noise.
Shout out to the
Exactly.
Museum TV. They won, I think.
No,
Yes.
Exposed one.
Exposed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Exposed. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
they're from your hometown. They're in Hanover.
Yeah, or that's at least where they're recording.
That's where
yeah.
no, that's where they're located. Yeah,
Yeah. I think that's a studio though, but that makes sense.
that's what it says in
Yeah.
their bio. It says Hanover, Mass. Shout out to Exposed TV. Shout out to all the platforms that were nominated
Yes.
Big shouts.
Big shouts.
and all the artists.
Yeah, everybody who won was like dope. So
Mm.
can't be mad at it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't
Now we got
do
Boston
anything.
Music Awards coming up, but we're just gonna be spectators, so that's exciting.
Wait, so
We'll
did the
press
winners come
passes.
out or
No, the nominations came out a
Oh,
couple days
okay.
ago.
yeah,
okay? Yeah, some people I know got nominated. And Notebook
Yeah.
P, I think you guys
Notebook P,
probably
yeah.
know him. Dope
Love
as hell.
Notebook P.
Oompa, of
I
course.
saw him perform last week
Where? Were you at Shane Dillon's event?
at it was at the Hard Rock.
Oh no, but I did. That
It
was the
Miranda
day before.
Ray, CD Rose.
Yeah, that was the
Shane
day-
Dillon was there actually.
Yeah,
I met
and then
him for the
he
first time.
had-
That was nice.
Yeah, he's dope. He's so
He's
sweet.
awesome.
Yeah, he's so
he was
sweet.
really nice.
But,
I approached him. I was like, I know exactly who you are. I, was like, I can't wait for your album.
Super
to come out.
talented. Yes,
Yeah.
Star or Lonely Dreamer, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And he had the album release for it like the day after that Friday.
Okay.
And-
I saw
and-
the track list for that. I was like, I can't
Yeah,
wait for
it's
this.
oh my god, I can't wait for it to come out. But
Yeah.
me, Notebook, and Miranda were on that lineup with
Word.
C4 and Kalea, I believe that's how you pronounce it. A few other dope ass artists.
Word.
It was dope. Great vibe.
All great performers.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen Miranda a few times. I've seen C4.
Her
a few
voice
times.
is like perfect.
Miranda
It's
is
ridiculous.
amazing. Yeah, incredible singer.
Ridiculous.
And C4 is a great performer. I
Yeah,
love watching him on
yeah.
stage.
He's
Just
ridiculous.
comfortable up there. He knows
He
what he's
is.
doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
He really knows. He really knows
Insane.
how to do it.
Crazy.
So do you have any live performances lined up right now?
As of right now, no. I've been really focused on just like press run, just to promote the track. That shows usually come to me, so it'll be like I have like right now nothing lined up, but then like tomorrow I'll get by the end of the week I'll have like okay hitting him up like we got 10 shows
Oh, wow.
that we have to do next month, or we have this lined up, or like just planning out stuff.
So you feel like you've realized like lately you're at a point where people are just reaching out to you, like
Yeah.
you're kind of getting noticed to
Yeah.
the point where people are just like, all right, we need to get her on a show.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
good,
And
yeah.
then just because like I feel really good about the last performances that I have done, and they've kind of been piggybacking off of each other of like this is why the next one wants to get me on their show.
Mhm.
But yeah, if I see some dope shit going on, then I'll definitely figure out who the curator is, and I'm like, yeah, I'd love to be a part of your next one. But just to put myself on the radar, and that also is how it ends up coming back around usually.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Mm.
just those connections, keeping those around.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, we're hoping to put on another show soon, so
Well, shit,
we'll
I'd
definitely
love
try
to.
to get you on
Yeah,
the
I'd
lineup.
love to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We've actually-
2022
Yeah, it's got to be 2022 at this
at this
point.
point,
Yeah.
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 we threw our first one in July, which was a success. So we're hoping to keep it going.
Congrats.
And you would
Yeah, that's
definitely be on our list
Would
of
love
artists.
to. Would love
Oh,
to.
yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And you mentioned that you started singing pretty much since you could talk. What were you doing? Like, what genres? And you must have been covering. Like, did you have favorite artists to cover or songs?
Yeah. I grew up listening to a lot of Stevie Wonder,
Mhm.
so I can kind of hear, even if he just wrote the song and he's not on it, like just from my mother playing it so much, like I kind of have a trained ear for shit like that now.
Wow.
But Beyonce, of course, I think everybody.
Yeah. Who doesn't like Beyonce?
Yeah, I was obsessed with Tina Turner, watching her perform, and just her energy. And Ray Charles, went through a crazy like obsession with him in elementary school. So I did a lot of soulful shit growing up. So that's kind of like I would
Nice.
mimic them, and that's how I would train my own voice until I ended up taking like real vocal lessons.
Okay.
Oh, what
So, yeah.
age did that start?
Vocal lessons,
Yeah.
probably 2016 or 2017, I think,
okay.
or
So after you had
2016
first
into
gotten the booth.
17. Yeah, because
Wow.
I was like, I have the money now to, this is everything. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I sing too. I really want to start training my voice, and I smoke a lot, so I want to make sure that I'm like staying on top of my shit.
Yeah.
So
We've
yeah.
had this conversation with people about that, like maintaining smoking habits and their singing voice. And
Yeah.
do you smoke before you go on stage?
Oh,
Do
yeah,
you wait
it's-
after?
You got to.
I'm not as like disciplined as I should be,
Mm.
and it's crazy because my manager, he's like, yo, this is something we got to start thinking about when you're doing like festivals and bigger shows and shit.
Yeah.
Like you might have to like, I'm thinking about stuff now, like going on vocal rest and not smoking for a week before a big show, and I'm like,
So do you think
like the idea of it already is, oh goodness.
Yeah.
do you think that some people are faking or use smoking as a prop if they are like big time professionals but look like they always have something going, you know? It's
Yeah.
like, how
Yeah,
is that really like what's happening?
I think a lot people cap everything.
Yeah.
So cap about everything. So yeah, definitely. I don't know anybody who does that, but I also don't know anybody who smokes as much as me. And I've been told that. Like
Interesting.
I
love
have
it.
a follower of mine who I actually know personally, but we don't hang out all the time, so I wouldn't expect her to know, but she actually commented on like a reel I posted and I'm smoking in it, and she was like, "Wow, you're like really always smoking." And I was like, "What did you think? I just like called
pretended.
somebody
Yeah.
every
This
time
is
I had a
real life.
photo shoot."
Come
Yeah,
on,
I'm
yeah.
like, no, I don't like just happen. Like I'm always smoking. So if you're getting a picture of me, I'm probably gonna be smoking. It's just, and I'm not like a like a heavy like everybody should smoke weed or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's just
Right. It's just
my
what you
thing.
do.
Yeah, like. But yeah, that would be kind of corny.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of corny.
Yeah. Well, I always think of like, I go to like Snoop or Wiz. I'm just like, are they really
No,
constantly?
Snoop is really.
Yeah.
And that's what I
smoking that
mean.
much.
Like, see, somebody like Wiz Khalifa, I feel like it's his brand now. Like, I feel like he smokes more than he wants to.
Right. Yeah.
He can't
Whereas
stop
Snoop
'cause that's what
Dogg-
he built his brand on.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
feel like Snoop Dogg is like a me. Like, no, you're just gonna always catch us because we're always smoking.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like. I'm
One of the
sorry.
funniest things I ever saw of Snoop Dogg was when he had, I've talked about this before, but I just thought it was so funny. He was doing the Snoop Lion phase and he was about to go somewhere and he was
Just
in a
bringing it up.
hotel, like just smoking in the hotel, and then like walks out to the lobby, like still with the blunt in his hand. I was like,
So I will.
Only
I
Snoop
will.
only Snoop
Not
can do
only
that.
Snoop. Well.
Well, he's one of the.
I was
only
gonna
people.
say because I mean like in all out in the lobby, yeah, probably because who's
Yeah.
gonna say something? But like there was a time, I'm not gonna say the hotel. I was out of state, and I hope I don't get like banned from anywhere. But like I paid. Well,
cut
I
it out.
can't. Yeah, no, I can't because I paid the smoking fee
oh,
like
there you
with the room. So
Oh, there you go.
it was like they
Oh,
came
with
up
the- like before you
Yeah,
even-
so when they came
You can do
upstairs,
that.
we did it.
Ah.
And
'Cause I
they
know it's like-
somebody
it's
came
like a cleaning
upstairs.
fee, right? Isn't it like
Yeah.
a $200 cleaning
I
So,
got
fee?
that.
like-
I've gotten that fee before.
Somebody came
I've gotten that fee
upstairs,
before.
knocked, and they was like, "You can't be smoking up here." And we
He's
showed
like,
them
"Oh,
the
we already
receipt.
paid."
Yeah, and they was like, went downstairs. They were like, "We're gonna talk to management." We didn't hear anything.
So you know what?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
That I-
genius.
yeah.
Have you-
It was in
um,
Chicago. I was like, maybe they're more
That's
lenient
crazy.
because I
No.
feel like I got that from watching the idea from watching I think Kings of Comedy.
Interesting.
I'd rather
Steve
just
Harvey
do it
I
and
think
see
said
if they
that.
find me.
He just-
I think
smokes.
Steve Harvey said him and Bernie Mac did that, and I was watching it, and I was like,
Right.
I was like, well, let me see if, because like the hell, and it worked.
That is
That's
cool.
crazy.
Yeah,
I heard a comedian once say that they had like a bad set. It was just like a shitty night. So they go back to their hotel and they just sat in their bed and smoked cigarettes, like didn't give a fuck. And they,
We've all been there.
just chain smoking cigarettes.
Yeah,
In
Oh
the
my
hotel room.
God.
Jesus.
gets the
Just-
charge and he's like home by the time he gets it. So he like calls them and he's just like, hey, there's like a charge for smoking on my room. And they were like, yeah, it reeked like cigarettes. We had to clean it. There was like, that's the cleaning fee. he's like, oh no, that can't be right because I don't smoke. And they just didn't fight him and they took it off.
Yeah, I mean, see, it's about seeing
Some
what you
mysterious
can
person
do.
just went in that room and hotboxed
Yeah.
cigarettes.
Must
And
have been housekeeping,
what's
yeah.
crazier is one of the girls that we were sharing the room with tried to dispute like a charge for like, you know, the bottles they have in the fridge.
Man,
Oh,
yeah.
So
the
like we
mini
got
bar?
when like after our stay we're leaving and she noticed it and she was like we didn't take that out on purpose, like we didn't know it was thing and we tried to put it back and like she was trying to dispute and I was like, girl,
Just reckless,
I was like, girl.
And smoking in the room.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I've also heard one more anecdote on this topic that Rihanna does this. She buys out a floor of a hotel so she can chief it, and then if anybody on the floor above or below complains, she just pays for their stay.
That's what I'm saying. Wouldn't it just
Trying
be
to have that
cheaper to
kind of
pay
money.
for their stay
Yeah.
in the first place? Well, I mean, no, that makes sense. It makes sense exactly how she did it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That's boss, though.
That is boss.
It would make sense because I can't imagine a hotel will complain at that
I'm like
point.
Beyonce
too.
would just buy out the
I
hotel.
don't think the hotel is going to complain about a person buying out an entire floor.
Yeah,
Exactly,
like,
and
do
she's
whatever you
probably
want.
like
Yeah.
giving them a little more.
Like, this is
than...
our best customer ever.
Exactly,
At least
like
we know
who
it's
does
just
that?
you.
And it's the sweets, like you know what I mean?
And it's
all the
Rihanna,
sweets.
so it's like she's going to attract people to their hotel anyways.
I would
If
love
someone
my
hears that
hotel to smell
Rihanna's
like
there-
Rihanna.
Yeah.
I would love my anywhere to smell like Rihanna.
I don't know
like,
what Rihanna smells like, but it's probably really good.
she like it's probably weed and like
Yeah.
black girl magic, like tropics
I'm
and
about
oh goodness,
sounds lovely. Honestly.
yeah.
Shout out to
Rihanna.
big
Shout out to Rihanna.
I was listening to "Bitch Better Have My Money" earlier today. That's such a jam.
You listen to her and you're like, she makes great fucking music.
Yeah.
And it's like every time, no matter what I
Yeah.
listen to, I'm like, she makes amazing
Oh, the
music.
attitude behind it. You're just like
Her
fuck yeah,
team-
like, let's
her-
go.
Best job, probably one of the best like teams in the history of music. She's like, I think
I remember
her
when
PR,
she first,
her
I remember
management,
when she
her
first was on the radio.
writing.
I think it was that song "If It's Lovin' That You Want," and I was in like 7th grade, and that song was on the radio. And then there was Ponde Replay after that.
No, it's. I need you to say it again.
I'm white. Don't make fun
No,
of me.
it's just hilarious. Everybody needs to hear it again.
Ponde Replay.
Isn't that what she says?
Yeah, like, come on.
Exactly like how he just said it too.
Ponde Replay.
We need to get a drop of that and then do like a mix of the song and over her part. Just have him do it.
No, that one came out, and then it was just like endless hits since then, like 15 years. now.
Umbrella was like, that's when I got
Umbrella,
hit.
like, yeah.
I was like, wow, she can do no wrong. And then she
Shut
came
Up
out.
and Drive, like.
And then Anti, like that's still on the charts.
Mhm.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, she's a hit maker.
She's a hit
And then,
maker.
and then she retired. And didn't tell anybody.
Ponde.
Really? I didn't.
Ponde
Ponde
Replay.
That's gonna be stuck in
How
my
do you
head.
say it? How do you say it?
I'm probably gonna say it the same way you
Say
do.
it.
I don't have a Ponde Replay.
See?
Yeah, nah, I feel like I'm
Same
saying
way.
it wrong. I'm just saying it like how he's saying it because
Because isn't it supposed to be said,
Ponde
like,
Replay. I
with
think
an
it's more of a
With an
D.
accent,
Yes,
but I don't have the
Ponde
accent. I don't
Replay.
wanna-
So
I don't want to fake the accent.
I
wanna
don't
be an
either.
imposter, you
I
know?
feel like I have more of a Boston accent too, so it probably
Yeah,
sound
oh my
crazy.
God. Oh.
I have my what do we call it? Western Mass friends saying dead dogs now, so we're branching
really?
out,
I
putting
didn't
on
know
putting
that
on
was
for
a
the
Boston
city.
I'll be honest. I didn't know Dead Dogs was a Boston thing.
I
till,
didn't
like,
either
till, like,
until
4 years ago, maybe.
until I
Yeah.
heard my Western Mass friend say it, and I was like, he said it in a song, and I was like, like the first bar,
Dead Dogs. And
I was
I've heard-
like, wow.
I had heard people say it like occasionally growing up, but I just thought it was like a universal thing.
I feel
didn't
like
know.
it skips like Springfield because you hear it in New York, but I've never heard anybody in Springfield say it. And then
Springfield's
when
got their
I
own thing going
yeah,
on.
the boonies. But when I when I started traveling out there, like they made fun of me for saying it, and then they would
Yeah.
say like, "Oh, that's like it's the Boston shit."
Interesting.
I'm like, okay, I guess we're
See,
fine.
I thought it was just like the opposite of On God, you know?
No, it's on Dead
It's-
Dogs. It
Well,
came.
no,
It's the
people
same
say
thing,
on
though.
Dogs, but if you were like On God, you know, like the same.
It's the same
It's
thing.
just
Yeah.
the
It's the
opposite
same
word.
thing.
It's the
On
word
Dead
flipped.
Dogs is just more emphasis. Like I usually like I don't really say on God. Like I text that more, but on
Yeah.
Dead Dogs it's like swearing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like mad
There's
like
there's
on Dead Dogs.
and
Like
then there's on Dead Dogs.
Exactly.
That's a different
Exactly.
level. That's-
Exactly.
That's like a double dog dare.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I love the translations from like AAV to standard English. Like,
Yeah.
I love this.
On dead dogs.
That's our job. We have a translation segment every podcast.
It's funny
No,
learning
just
about
kidding.
like the different words that are only New England words that you never realized like until you grew
So
up.
many.
I'm
I
trying
didn't
to
know
think
that
of
even
more.
fluff was a thing just
Fluff.
around.
Like,
Yeah.
really? Even
Yeah.
that's crazy. Because
That is
like when I
crazy.
found that out, I was like, where do you guys live?
I also,
That's-
so it's just PBJs. Like,
That's
what's
what
the
I'm
deal?
saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's I
So,
eat it out
nips?
the damn.
nips, like the little alcohol bottles.
What do other people call them?
So my friends
Shooters.
shooters. Yes. No, yeah.
That's so gross.
Right.
That
So,
sounds
he's
very
right.
like that sounds like you should say
I
pause
went to
after
school.
you say
I went to
it.
college in Pennsylvania, and it was mostly like New York and New Jersey kids there. And when I said nips, they were like, "What are you talking about?" I was like,
Like,
"The
like your
little alcohol."
nipples.
They're like, "Oh, you mean shooters?" I'm like, "No, nips."
That
Like,
sounds
what do you-
very
my God.
inappropriate.
right.
Like that sounds hella
I mean, not
inappropriate.
that nips doesn't either.
If you asked somebody if they brought shooters and they said yes, I'd be like, hold on. What do you mean?
Yeah, what kind of shooters are we talking?
I hate how down south they say pop. Like, and I thought that was like
Pop, like
not.
soda?
Like for
Yeah,
soda,
I thought that
they
was
do
like
that in the Midwest
joke.
too. I think
that's
in like Michigan and stuff, they say pop.
My grandmother tried to convince me that around here we say tonic, and I told her to shut up.
What
yeah,
is
maybe
tonic?
in 1920.
yeah. I was like, I
"No,
think
that's
that's
what I'm
a
talking
that's a
about."
generation thing, ma'am. Because I'm like, what is tonic? Is that it's like medicine alcohol, right?
Well,
Doesn't
I
matter.
think it's like tonic water is like bubbly
Oh, it's
water.
water. Oh,
Well, like a
seltzer.
gin and tonic.
It's the same
People,
thing.
people
It's-
still order a gin and tonic, which is
Which is
tonic
just
water
seltzer
with
water,
gin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Seltzer water is
Seltzer
gross.
water.
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry. We just had to make up.
Also-
take a second out to say that.
Also, club soda, like
Isn't that seltzer water?
probably. But
I'm
only
like, all
old
of this
people,
is
only
like-
old people say club soda.
What is a club soda though? Isn't it just like a
Club
club
soda.
for? It's
You have to
it's
be in
soda
the
from a
club.
bar, right?
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
It sounds so exclusive.
No, see, I'm gonna take all this and start saying it
Right?
when I go, because I
Bring
don't.
it all back.
I'm not a club person, but I like when I have to perform in those spaces. I just do shit for my own entertainment. So I'm gonna just start like club soda, please, and then be like, how old are you?
yeah.
I'm gonna be like 18.
Can I get a tonic water?
That's so gross.
Yeah.
What's
That
your
sounds
favorite
crazy.
show that you've performed at so far? Most memorable?
Shane Dillon's.
Shane Dillon?
Yeah, off rip, and second was probably Finally Reloaded, Watch Sham's last event.
Okay.
It was
Oh, I wanted to go to that so
bomb.
bad. I had
It
to
was
work.
so
I
fun.
remember seeing that lineup. I was like,
so fun.
a lot of talent there.
We got
Wait, was that
drunk. We had a
October
good
8th?
time.
That was. No, it was in
Was it-
September, I think.
Oh, okay.
It was,
was
like
a-
Brandy Blaze, Cake Swag.
Yeah,
and everybody was there.
C4, I think,
was there,
yeah.
I think, yeah.
We're always on the same lineup, so it's just
Word. C4 is
Uh,
everywhere. Like, I go to random shows, like, not even knowing that he's on the bill, and he's just there performing.
yeah. Even
I'm
if
like,
he's not
"What?"
performing, he's just popping up.
He's just popping up, like
Yeah.
he knows someone that's performing, and they bring him on stage.
He
and,
gets like
he
an
always-
hour and a half of sleep a day, and then he's just gone.
That's
Kid's
crazy.
an animal.
He's
Kid is
gone.
an
He'll call
animal.
me.
We
He's
first
like,
had him on the podcast almost 2 years ago now,
Yeah.
and he was like, he had just turned 18, I think, at the time.
yeah.
And I was like, this kid is fucking.
And
You would've
were
thought he was
saying
25.
He's like Jason Tatum of the rap game.
I was
And I
saying at
s-
that time.
just like Jason Tatum, I still think he's 18, even though that was years
Yeah,
ago.
exactly. I did call him the Jason Tatum of the rap game at that time.
Yeah, it's funny because I think everybody like he just kind of stopped aging. Like because he's been such an old man since
Yeah.
since we all knew him.
Yeah.
Like he's
so
my oldest,
I
my
heard-
longest
I first
friend.
heard
and-
about him when he was like 16, probably.
Yeah,
then
we've
he
known
dropped-
each other since he was 14. I was 15,
Okay.
and he's been.
Oh,
old
we got to
man
talk about
since-
Brockton.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
so you're from Brockton.
Yes, sir.
Brockton is the hip hop scene is crazy right now.
Booming right
It's
now.
insane.
Booming.
Like
We've
it's
been
not-
waiting for it
like,
too.
Brockton's competing with Boston right now. It's like which one's better? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And I think
Um,
with the best thing, I'm sorry not to cut you off. The best
Yeah.
thing out of that though is it's kind of forcing Massachusetts to come together.
Yeah.
Like New England is like, okay,
Absolutely.
we need as a scene need to just be New England.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
So you got Van Buren, you've got you've got C4, you've got J Rose, you got Garrett Merck, you've got who else? I mean, there's so many people. Who else is there?
I'm trying to think. 'Cause that's...
Darius Haywood just dropped an album. I mean, it feels like
Oh yeah, he just dropped a video too with Colin Paglioni. I believe.
yes, if like I update our playlist like once a week, and every single week there's Brockton artists on there. So it just feels like people are constantly putting stuff out.
And we've been like, when I was talking about Sound Lab where I started, that's where I met St. Leor in high school, but we started working. We were in the Sound Lab when we were recording same time. He did the cypher like after I did. Me and C4 were always in the studio together. So like all of these people, and I've known Luke and Ricky from Van Very since high school. So it's like we were all just waiting for this. We've all just been kind of honing our crafts until we got up to this point.
You can tell that like all the artists that are really starting to pop from there, you can tell that they've been spending time really polishing their craft. It's not just like an overnight thing.
Exactly. And I do have to shout out Latrell and Jessica because, again, like they used to come in and we'd just be chilling, just vibing.
Latrell James?
Yeah. And I believe it's still his manager, Jessica.
Yeah. Yep.
And they'd come in and be like, nah, everybody get up. And it'd be like performance boot camp and they'd have us run through our sets just on spare time. And so like they'd make sure we went up during the Speak Your Truths and performed and like, so, you know, shout out to them for making sure we were on our P's and Q's and really took it serious because they honed us into stars, like, you know, the ones who took it serious.
Yeah. Owen and I went to, a couple years ago, it was the 2019 State of New England Hip Hop event hosted by LFOD. And Latrell was on the panel and he talked about Van Buren like a lot on that panel. He was like, I just really believe in what those guys are doing.
I know he worked with Luke Bars closely a lot for a little bit too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I probably learned about them then. I was like getting hip to this whole scene a few years back as I got more involved in this. Said this a million times, but I was starstruck by Van Buren when they came out and performed Okay.
At the Boston Music Awards.
I believe it was just Luke Bars, but they all came out.
So I knew, this was Boston Music Awards,
dope.
what, 2 years ago?
What was this?
2 years ago, Boston Music Awards?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago, when Hefe Replay was standing on the railing.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that was, so I knew Van Buren before then, but like when I saw the performance, that's when I became like a fan. I was like...
Because they're all stars in their own right, and it's dope as hell. How
they were doing the mask thing before it was cool, super cool, with the teeth and whatnot.
Lord Felix always
I was just about to say that. He's always had the shade.
I don't think I've ever seen his face before.
I definitely haven't. He's the only one that I didn't.
You've never seen his face?
He's the only one I didn't know before.
That's crazy.
Before, you know,
and I
high
saw
school.
some interview with him, and they asked him how old he was. He was like 20-something. Like, he's very mysterious.
I love that.
He doesn't tell anyone anything.
Okay,
I like
that. Like 20, okay. Like,
no, we gotta start doing that.
Yeah. But I actually was in a video. You guys know My Compiled Thoughts?
Yes, absolutely.
I did a video. I was in a video and like directed it for Hum Beats because his album where he has a song. I believe it's on his album, but he has a song with Compiled Thoughts and Lord Felix called 1999. Yeah,
I love that song.
And I'm in the video and I directed it. And Lord, he didn't show up.
You directed that video?
Yeah.
I love that video.
Yeah, but thank you,
Good
thank
work.
you. I mean, obviously everybody was helped out, but yeah, the direction was dope. But he was supposed to be there. He didn't show up, and that's kind of why we ended up having to, you know, come up with what we came up with. But love the song. But I was looking for, because I was definitely gonna like. I've never got to meet him or like sit down and talk to him, and so I don't even know how mysterious he is. Like everything I hear is off of hearsay.
You never see his face, so
yeah.
That's like so cool though.
I follow him on Twitter
like
too.
MF
I'm like,
Doom.
bro. Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
who the hell
exactly.
knows what MF Doom's face looks like?
That's crazy.
Oh man, wasn't Czarface? Oh no, Czarface.
Sia was like that for a little bit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was?
Sia.
Oh.
You know Chandelier, that song?
She has the black and white thing.
Yeah,
right?
but then her bangs would always
Yep.
like that looks annoying as hell though. But I mean, she pulled it off. And her did that for a little bit too, with the big ass shades.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you want some anonymity. I kind of like the mysterious thing. Like there's always little tricks.
Yeah.
Like
some people can pull it off.
Yeah. It's nice.
I liked when I saw that interview and he was like, I'm 20-something. I'm like, you could be 29 or 21, and I have no idea.
Yeah,
but
it really shouldn't matter.
I was like,
then that's the thought. It's like, you know what? Fuck it, right?
I was like, the reason he's saying that is because he knows if he tells people his age, they're going to judge. Like when you tell someone your age, they're going to be like, oh, you should be at this point in your life, or like, you should be doing this. It's like, who the fuck cares?
Well, it's funny because
20-something, it's like, wow, you could be anywhere right now in life.
Right,
so it's like
20 is so different from 29. So
exactly.
It's like you could just be
Exactly.
I love that.
It's either fresh out of high school or like I just got my first real career.
Right.
Like, or I just had like my second kid. So
Right.
it's like,
It could be anything.
it's like you could be
anything at that
wherever.
point.
So, do you think someone in their late 30s or 40s and beyond, do you think they could fake a young voice enough for you to be convinced in an interview, like that they were actually young? You know
Some
what I
people
mean?
just have young
Or would you
voices.
just hear the wear and
I'm trying to
tear of
think
life?
because John Mulaney,
Oh,
you guys know?
yeah, he's
He
like
loves
40.
John Mulaney.
I
talk about
love,
him every podcast.
I try not to bring up my
Why does
obsession
everyone
with Big
bring up
Mouth
John Mulaney?
because he's
he's a funny guy.
hilarious.
I guess.
Do
You
you
saw him, right? Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would pay good money to see him.
I did. I couldn't even get seats next to we sat in front of each other, like on the end of a
I don't
row.
care if we were sitting in different rooms with whoever I came with. I need to be able to see him.
Yeah.
I watched his Netflix. I think he has a Netflix special.
Yeah, he has a
Hilarious.
couple. There's like New in Town, Comeback Kid, I think
I
there's
watched.
another
Yeah, I
one.
watched like 3 of them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The latest one is called From Scratch because he just like went to rehab and everything. So
Oh, I see. I haven't seen
Because he
that
got
one.
divorced, right?
during COVID, he got
What?
divorced and then went to rehab. And in his whole new act, he talks about like how he hit like Seth Meyers was at his intervention and like all these.
I'm
SNL
about to get
people.
so high when I get home and just watch
It's
this. Like, I swear to God. Yo, what? Because I literally just binge watched Big Mouth, the new
Oh,
season.
man.
And like me and my best friend was talking about how I think and nobody wants to admit that they watch the show. I don't say anything about it unless like if I feel like I'm in a cool enough environment, I'll be like, yeah, I'll watch it, but we don't talk about it because it's
Yeah.
crazy. But he's hilarious.
It is hilarious. Big Mouth is just so raw that I like. It is funny, but I'm like, man, this makes me feel weird.
I
too.
feel like I shouldn't laugh about anything that I'm hearing, and it's like, do you watch the show?
No.
You
I don't know
haven't-
what you guys are talking
I'm like,
about,
how
honestly.
close friends are you guys?
We are close friends.
We're
but
very
we
close
have very
friends.
different interests.
Oh, yeah, no,
we're
I
very
can-
close friends, but he watches a lot of stuff that
I can
don't.
kind of tell that he wouldn't laugh. He'd be like, "What the fuck?"
You
But
Probably.
it's something that you like. You'd have to catch him watching it for you to be like, "Yo, what is going on?"
Yeah.
Like somebody asked me, they like one of my friends, because I was telling them about it, and I'm cracking up, and they were like, "Yo, put on an episode," and I'm like scrolling, trying to find the least like offensive and most
So-
appropriate one. And I was like, you know what? You just watch it on your own time and let me know how you feel later.
my favorite, I think, like if you were gonna like show somebody a scene, is like when he's prepping for personal time and the demon's like handing him tissues and he's like, "Thank you, sir." And he's got like a like the music thing, whatever, like holds the music stand, like as if he's like about to conduct an orchestra. It's so funny.
It's so
And,
inappropriate.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I shouldn't even have brought that up. But you guys, it's,
Everything,
so
all the
funny.
funniest things I'm thinking about, I'm like, I shouldn't bring this up right now. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not even
and
gonna,
Big
but
Mouth
yeah,
is funny,
watch
but
it.
You gotta
If
get ready. Don't watch it with your parents.
Don't.
Don't. Oh my God, my mother will walk by and she's just like
Just cartoons.
horrified. Yeah, I'm like, bro, oh my God. And it's crazy because she wouldn't let me watch South Park. I'm like, look at what you did because you tried to censor me when I was younger.
Oh, dude, my mom wouldn't let me watch Rugrats.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
What? Why?
don't
What
know.
the hell?
Well,
I have no
Rugrats did
idea.
have like weird imagery. Kind
I was gonna
I
say
don't
the
know.
imagery is
There was
kind of
something about
trippy.
Rugrats
Yeah.
that my mom did not fuck with, and she was
The
like, "Nope,
Rugrats
you cannot
imagery
watch
could
this."
very well go into like a robot chicken
Yeah.
realm.
Because there was like some scary stuff. I remember like some of the things that they would show. It would be like a normal scene in your house, but then they'd like transform it into something
Yeah,
scary.
the
and then,
view
like, you'd
of
start
it.
thinking that.
So you know what a memory you just brought up? I did acid one time and yeah, mirror, like I was looking in the mirror and like I'm looking at myself and I noticed like the whole background became like a hard drawn sketch and I didn't know, obviously I was like, all right, I'm done with the mirror and I just walked away.
I need to get
But
outta here.
it made me like, I was thinking about it after. I'm like, bro, like why did that creep me out? It's just a drawing. Obviously I don't belong there,
They
but
say you shouldn't look in a mirror on acid.
yeah, that's also why, because I could have very well ended up in that world. That's probably like that's why I walked away. But that's what I mean, though. Like the imagery from that is like very much some trippy type shit.
Yeah,
But-
I think they got away with a lot with old TV.
Oh, they
especially on,
definitely
like,
did.
Nickelodeon and
They was
stuff.
still trying to
SpongeBob,
figure
like,
it out.
The amount of references in SpongeBob that we didn't understand when we were younger, and then
That originally got pitched for Adult Swim.
SpongeBob?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
And it got rejected, obviously. And Nickelodeon was like, you know what?
Yeah, right?
we can do something with this.
So, do you know the show? Oh my God, why am I forgetting? Regular Show on Cartoon Network.
Yes. Yeah.
So they had basically the same thing, except they're way less subtle about it in the show. So they're always doing like the stoner giggles and stuff.
Cartoon Network is wreck.
Yeah. And
Cartoon Network is good wreck.
there was one scene in particular. There's actually an old short before the show became famous that they were like doing acid. Like the characters from that show were like just in a short before it ever became like popular doing like actual drugs. And there's a scene where on the VCR it says 420 and he goes to put a tape into the VCR and his arm should block out the time, but the time shows through his arm 420 still. And then it like, and I remember noticing that. I was like, that's so obvious that this is like on daytime for kids and stuff.
It's an
not for
acid
adults.
trip, but it's crazy because any adult watch. But that's like they're great. Their marketing was amazing because you're pulling in like probably like as young as 13, like a 12, 11 even because of the imagery and. Oh, you were talking about a SpongeBob short or a regular show?
This is regular show.
Yeah, I'm talking about like
show?
Cartoon
Okay.
Network, their
Yeah,
audience, because their audience is
Adventure
ranging from
Time
like,
too.
their audience ranges from like 11-year-olds to like 35-year-olds who like
Right.
cosplay this shit. So
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like they
Definitely.
really, and who can understand the jokes versus the kids who are just watching it like this is funny because it's sarcastic or because it's colorful or whatever the fuck.
They definitely have good writers because I've heard like in the comedy world too that there's like people try to layer their jokes so that there is a level of complexity to it that some people will laugh at, and then other people there's just like surface level like jokes
exactly.
that they
So
can still laugh
they
at.
always hit for the different audience.
Yeah, it's interesting. Man, we tangented hard on that, but that was so interesting.
I was
No,
say
we
you could
did.
teach comedy with that info. Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So who are some local artists you haven't worked with who you would like to work with?
I get asked this all the time. I need to answer. Notebook P.
Who do you not want to work with at all?
Who's your least favorite artist?
Yeah, who
No, I'm just
sucks?
Who sucks? I don't even have an answer because I wouldn't even know them.
Nobody ever
No,
has
we're
an
joking.
answer.
Yeah, I was gonna
We're
say.
joking. We don't want you to answer that.
No, because Charlie will ask that question and then just like Charlie Machine, like who sucks, and then like
Yeah.
just like crickets until you answer. So I'd be prepared, but people I really want to work with. Notebook P, definitely. I've been like noticing I'm looking for a reason. Like any beat I get sent, I'm like, I feel like I could get him on this, just because I love his delivery, his lyricism, his vocals are amazing. Me and C4 have a few songs in the vault,
Word.
and he said we need to drop and we need to get back in the studio. I'm like, you need to mix the shit we have, but we got some stuff coming out. But obviously him, Van Buren definitely.
Yes.
Most specifically, Saint Leor.
Okay.
Yeah, because I love Luke Bars, but I feel like Saint Leor, his sound would just like we would do something crazy, It's Notebook P, Saint Leor. I'm trying to think. That's Shay Nice too. I've been like I'm actually a fan of her music. I really fuck with her sound, her delivery, and
Who's that?
everything. Shay Nice. She
Shay
actually she just won the New England Hip Hop Award for the category. I was in the Female Hip Hop Artist of the Year.
Oh,
You guys know Shooter Music?
Oh, Shay Bands.
Yeah, what did I say? Shay Nice?
Nice.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Shay Vance. Shay Nice is an artist from Springfield.
Okay.
Sorry,
No,
so
I know
sorry.
Shay Bands. I
Yeah.
like Shay Bands.
That's why you guys are like, what? I was like, she just won.
Yeah,
How do you
I was
get
like,
that?
wait. I was like, what?
But yeah,
I thought I
no.
knew everything.
Shay Vance, I love her voice and her delivery. Yeah, she makes good music, so I fuck with her.
I'm a
like
huge
her
fan of
sound.
her. I started following Shooter's music probably last year, like 8 Zip and Side Street Capo, and then like the beginning of this year they started posting Shay Bands, and I was like,
I actually was it was an event Y Sham did like earlier in the summer, and I got hip to her. She was performing like it was like I think it was like an open mic thing or
she really just exploded onto the scene this
Yeah,
year. Like,
no
All of a
bullshit.
sudden, just like
Excuse me.
crazy videos, songs, a lot of different styles.
Great
too.
mentions. Yeah.
You know
and
what
that's
I
what I'm
mean?
saying. Like you could tell she really found
She
her
does
sound
R&B,
right away.
She does drill. She does everything.
Exactly.
Like, it's crazy.
She's dope.
So
You gotta be versatile.
You gotta be versatile. Absolutely. So, Did we ask about shows? What's your next show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
did
we
ask
already
about
did
shows.
Ask about
We asked about features. I guess I was just gonna ask. I mean, not to like wind it back, but like, do you make a lot of your references are towards like your music in general? I'm like, does your content ever go around any of the like the fun stuff, like comedy, or like do you make any references to shows you watch or anything like that in your music?
I'm trying to think. Not comedy, but like shit that I watch. Obviously, like I have I don't know if this isn't a song, but like in a freestyle that I did for like, it was the CWTFB cipher actually recently, Red Cups cipher, and there was a bar in that, and it was like heartthrob like David, but my voice a little rougher, frontal straight down to paper, no tips because I'm gutter. So like I grew up like kind of obsessed with the Temptations and that whole just generation of performers and stuff like that. So I'll make like a Ike and Tina reference here and there in a song.
Word.
Or yeah, like just shit like that, whenever it comes up.
Yeah. No, that's always cool.
I love wordplay though, so I always try to find ways to like throw in some shit.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about pop culture just through song references like this. Like I'll hear you say something, and I'm just like, what is that? And then I Google it, and I'm like, oh, that's about a band, about a song, about a person that existed. And I was like, wow, that's so interesting. And I just
like
learned.
David Ruffin, I think you guys obviously know, he's the heartthrob in the Temptations.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah,
I remember
so
Lil Wayne had a line where he was like, "Murder, She Wrote," like Angela Lansbury. And I didn't know, I never understood that line. And then at work recently, someone was talking about is it a show or a movie,
like,
Murder, She Wrote?
Oh my God.
What?
You were just sitting there like, oh my God, that's what he meant.
And they were like, someone asked like a trivia question. They were like, who's the actress from that movie? And I was like, Angela Lansbury. And they were
it's like I know everything
I was like,
now.
I knew that from a Lil Wayne song in 2007. Like, that's fucking...
Oh my God. Same thing kind of happened with Lil Wayne verse. I think you know that line he says in 6 foot, 7 foot, I think it is, and real G's moving silence like lasagna.
Yeah.
Like 2 years later, I'm taking a test and I'm like reading something and I was like, like it just dawned on me. I was like, oh my God, the G and lasagna silent. That's fucking insane. This nigga's the goat. The goat.
Yeah, I was the biggest Wayne fan in high school.
Yeah, same.
That.
Oh yeah, everybody.
I get into a weekly debate with my boyfriend about Lil Wayne because
I have a poster of him on the wall.
He's not really like impressed. I need to see that before I leave. My eyesight's shit. I can't see it. But
I used to hate on Lil Wayne a lot.
A lot of people did.
We got into a real heated debate. I have a video of me like scream rapping 6 foot, 7 foot in his face while he's driving. But I have we got into like a debate recently because we were like driving to New York and he's like kept putting on Common and I just kept flipping back on Wayne. And I mean, obviously everybody loves Common, but I'm like, as far as wordplay, and he was like, Wayne doesn't impress me. Common got the substance and his
when Lil Wayne,
subject
like,
matters
was really
there.
popping in like 07, 08, there were a lot of like hardcore hip hop heads that were like, nah, this isn't real hip hop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. I mean,
and now
whatever.
it seems like a decade later, like people are starting to respect him
He's
more
the
as a lyricist.
GOAT, yeah.
Which is, it's funny to me.
Yeah, I feel like Freddie Gibbs is kind of gonna be on that same, got that same
I remember
vibe
when Freddie
going
Gibbs
on.
started popping in like 2010, 2011.
I love. He's so problematic, but I love Freddie Gibbs.
Now he's like an icon. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Did you see the academics and the spat he had with academics on Twitter?
See that. I remember
hilarious.
That, yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like, if it was anybody else, I'd be like, grow up. But Freddie Gibbs, I'm like, you're hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
It's funny how, like, you become a fan of someone and...
what were you saying?
I was just saying, like, you become a fan of someone and you kind of just, like, excuse certain things.
Yeah,
because
like, you feel like you know them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But, yeah. Him and academics got into, like, a little spat on... That's an old lady word, too. But they got into, like, a little...
spat.
Somebody said that recently, and I've been using that. But, yeah, they got into, like, a little back and forth. And I don't even know what it was about. I think academics called him like a Twitter gangster or something like that.
Who
and
was academics though? Like,
Freddie Gibbs just responded with like,
anybody?
"Shut the fuck up," and it just blew up. And I was like, "Ha!"
That was pretty funny though. Yeah.
Like, ha.
Oh man. Those are fun. We should stage an argument.
Those are
like that.
fun. He said.
Those are fun. Yeah.
Let's
stage a beef with somebody.
That's why I always
Let's
ask
do
people
it.
who's their least favorite artist. Because
I'm gonna start one. I should have said C4.
Let's put all our energy into starting
just
a beef
to
with Drake.
start a
That's
beef.
fun.
Yeah, we should just. This whole podcast is trying to beef with Drake. That's our
Yeah.
gimmick.
Trying to beef with Drake.
We just want to get Drake's attention.
I'm not at that level to beef with Drake. Do that when I'm not on the
Well,
episode.
20 minutes ago, I was talking about humble beginnings, so I don't think we are either.
No.
I was gonna say Humbeats loves Drake. Wait till he gets on here. He's
I
like,
love
wait
Drake.
till he gets on
Honestly,
here
I
to
love
do
Drake
that.
too. Full
Wait till Hum
disclosure,
gets
I'm a
on
huge
here and
Drake
just be
fan.
like, fuck Drake, just for no reason at all.
I have said on this podcast before, I was like, Drake gets enough love that we need somebody else.
He's another one. I just love him.
He-
I love
Absolutely
Drake.
love Drake
I love Drake because
for every and no reason at all.
I just like followed his whole career. Like, you know what I mean?
From Degrassi.
From my sister used to watch Degrassi. Like,
Right.
yeah. And then I just remember the So Far Gone mixtape and even the shit before that. First song I heard by him was Ransom with Lil Wayne. I think that was in like 2008. And I was such a Wayne fan at the time, I would listen to anything he was on. So when that song came out, I listened to it and I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
I was like, he can rap.
First song I think that I really got hip to was First Name Eva, Last Name Greatest, the one where he comes out with
Forever,
that,
yeah.
that shit. And I was like, okay,
The one
you got it.
with Kanye and
Everybody was
Eminem
in that
and
song.
Lil Wayne,
Everybody was in. I was like, that was like the
I was
craziest
hyped when
thing
that
out.
came out because I was like, Eminem's on a song with Lil Wayne. Like,
Yeah.
that was huge to me.
Oh my God, when Eminem, because I was a huge Eminem fan growing up too.
Yeah.
Eminem
and then he
and Nicki
disappeared
Minaj.
for 5 years, and then just like,
He got sober.
yeah, he got sober.
Yeah.
But
And
I
he-
remember when he made that comeback, it was like,
Yeah, that was
He's
when I
back.
actually got into.
You felt like
Eminem.
he was back?
honestly, no. When Relapse came out, I was like disappointed. In it.
The way he said. See, I was trying to ask it like a genuine question,
he was
but
back. He was back in the sense that he was actually making music again. So I was like,
okay.
okay. I actually liked Recovery though when it came out, but I haven't liked anything since then.
I like Eminem.
I like
love
Eminem. I
Eminem.
just don't like his recent.
I mean, the
music.
first 3 albums are undisputed. I
Yes,
think, but, like,
absolutely.
Yeah, of
everything
course.
else gets questionable. But I think like people always wonder that about like Biggie and Tupac. We've had this conversation before. Like, if they had still been around, would they have had enough time to put out a trash album or just something that wasn't
Exactly.
as
I mean,
amazing?
yeah, I feel everybody's got a flop in them, unless you're
Exactly.
Future.
Exactly. And everybody's time
Or
runs
Young
out
Thug, like-
eventually.
Yeah.
Everybody's time runs out eventually. Like, I don't know. I still like Jay-Z and I'll still listen to his albums when they come out, but it's not going to be the same as it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, I think artists should take a page out of Felix's book and wear the mask because no one knows how old you are, how long
Yeah.
you've been around.
just say you're 20-something forever.
Yeah, Daft Punk did it, and no one, they survived.
That's a big thing with
Marshmello's doing it.
DJs like that.
Didn't
yeah.
Daft Punk just kind of split up though?
Oh,
Who-
did they?
What
I have no
band?
idea.
I think a band just recently split up. I probably wasn't
I don't
Daft
know.
Punk, but I saw it on Twitter.
Sad.
That's where I get all my news from.
Yeah,
In case you haven't realized it, it's
Of
Twitter.
all the social media platforms, Twitter's probably the best one to get news from. I would
Yeah.
say.
I'm starting to have a strong dislike for Instagram. It's
Yeah.
too damn much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I'm seeing in Instagram what I used to see, and I shouldn't be surprised because it's the same company, but
Facebook,
what I
yeah.
used to see in Facebook, whereas, I'd be like scrolling,
It's just ads.
and it's ads, it's the same ads, and then it's like, I'll end up seeing some of the same posts. I'm like, there's
Yeah.
millions and millions of posts being made every day, every hour, and I can't.
Well,
I have
like
thousands
new
of
stuff.
followers, and
Yeah.
I'm following hundreds, and I'm seeing the same 3 people on my
Yeah.
shit.
Exactly. It's like once you like a couple posts by someone, Instagram just like, oh, this is who you want to see. I'll just put them at the top of your feed every time.
Every time,
Like,
yeah.
Okay. I
That's
don't follow
ridiculous. And it's
2,000 other
crazy.
people.
I'll go look for someone I follow, and then notice
And they
they
don't come
posted something. Oh well, that sometimes
that's
too.
weird,
But
too,
notice
like-
they posted something
Yeah.
like 3 days ago, and I'm
You
like,
didn't
all
see
right,
it.
well I be on here every day. Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen any of this.
I've
It's,
had that exact same thing happen to me, and I don't know if that has to do with is there a way to filter your feed to be like?
it's the algorithm. Like
Yeah.
the more people save stuff on your page, the more that
I've
they
heard the
put it on
saves
your
are big.
story. Yeah,
The
saves
are big.
and
saves and sharing it to
sharing,
your story.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like something.
Which is like
lot of
I never
artists should
share
start.
stuff. I mean I do share stuff. I never save stuff.
I save
Like,
everything now, and so I just innately started doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's like the click value, like how valuable is it somebody wants to save it type
Yeah.
thing. So I just started doing it, and then when I, my marketing pages that I follow were like, hey, did you notice the algorithm changed, and started breaking down like what affects it, and it's the saving. I'm like, okay, yeah, I have like a million things saved right now. That makes sense.
Wow.
So did you have to unsave some of them because was that like
No,
messing with your
it's-
algorithm or?
No, it doesn't mess with. I'm trying to think of how, like, if Yeah,
Well, it helps
well,
the people you're saving, right?
yeah, exactly. So they end up more popular.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it doesn't like unless I follow them, it doesn't really change what pops up on my feed. It's still whoever I follow.
Oh, okay.
But like that, like say a reel or something like that. If I save it, like that reel will probably get like be at like the 1 million view point, but the likes would still probably be around the range that their average following would give them, which is weird.
That is weird.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't
It's
understand
There's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
that.
shit going on with the algorithms. I'm
Yes.
seeing like a lot of posts from people I don't follow now just
Yeah.
coming up in my feed.
Yeah, and it'll say like to follow them, and it's weird.
It's
yeah.
like, what the hell? And it's regular stuff. It's not even like a celebrity sponsored thing.
Right,
It's
Yeah,
just like,
just
oh,
some
this
family in their
guy
driveway.
from Springfield. It's like,
Family in their drive.
for real. Like, okay.
Yeah, no, it is. I think though, like, as advanced as all this technology feels, we're still like changing. You know, it's not because I don't think.
Always.
Yeah, like there's obviously TikTok is totally new. The short videos, that's like we've always had short videos, and that's always been a thing since America's Funniest Home Videos.
They're just
like,
getting shorter and shorter now, though.
Yeah,
Like,
they're getting shorter and shorter, and they're just shoving them. I'll catch myself. Doesn't matter if I'm on Snapchat, Instagram, or even YouTube. I'm ending up in these like shorts, and I'm just watching like reels, and I'm like,
Oh my
Jesus, I
God.
meant to
Do you believe
watch a
that
different
social
video.
media is really making people's attention spans shorter?
Yes.
I believe it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
I've heard
that's,
that
like,
people's
such a real
eyes
thing.
don't blink as often because we're like used to staring at screens.
That is
That-
sick.
Yeah, so people
I
will
stare
have
at
like
screens
dry
way
eyes.
too much. Dude.
Yeah.
We all do, but it's
I was
like,
going to say, I'm on my screen from like I try to not get on it any screen until 10, but it's so
Yeah.
hard because you got to wake up and check
It is.
emails and yeah.
Yeah.
Then you think about it sometimes, you're like, we were not meant to look at screens for this long.
We were
every
not
day.
meant to be this attached or to know everything that's
Right.
going on as
It's not-
often. Like
yeah.
anxiety is kind of just, it's like sin now. It's just something you're born into.
That's
'Cause
actually
it's-
a really interesting
Social
thing.
media definitely causes anxiety too. That's
Yeah,
a
and that's
real
what I mean.
thing.
Like even
Yeah.
this generation, like I feel like my generation was the last one that could kind of regulate it
Mm.
because you know we grew up learning how to use it. We didn't really get it until we was still
Yeah.
like 10. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
My generation.
We at least
or
had our
anything.
childhood first.
Exactly.
And we didn't have to deal with that
Exactly,
stuff. Now
so
it's like kids are born with a
They
fucking
don't
tablet
know
in their
how to
hand.
survive like
right.
without anything. It's crazy.
It is weird.
It's crazy. Scary.
Yeah.
It is like we're only seeing the beginning of it right now. Who knows how this is going to affect people long term?
The metaverse or whatever. I don't even care to figure out
No.
what that is.
I'm ignoring it.
I
Yeah.
just got into NFTs today. I was like 20 minutes in. I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna try something else.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try something else. All this new stuff. It's like, oh my god, I'm already old.
Yeah, that
Gotcha.
technology is interesting, and I think some of it will be useful. But like, I do think that there is this like, and people we were seeing it at the start of social media in like the early mid 2000s. Like, I think everyone is depressed. You know, like
Oh.
everyone jokes about it, and they're always like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I see people doing so well, and I don't feel good about it. And the world is so big, but I'm so small." And you're just like all these things.
Just
Yeah.
think about the world before social media. Like, I don't know. It's just hard to even think about now.
Yeah.
Honestly. But like, think about waking up in the morning and not looking at what all these other people are doing.
I
You
think
know what
about
mean?
farmers a lot.
Me too.
Like-
yeah, that's so weird. I
Like
wanna
that's
be a
probably
farmer.
something I think about like once a day. Like I wonder what that's like when
Yeah.
you just have to get up and plant shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
or just,
farm and,
be in
like,
the woods,
tend
I'm
not
just,
to
like-
animals,
I'm just
yeah.
jealous of people that lived
Clean guns
were
and
adults
stuff.
before cell phones. You know what I mean?
You said,
I'm
yeah.
I'm jealous of people that like got to like live out their adulthood without cell phones.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds so different.
Because you
than
could
what we're
be
used
somewhere
to.
and you're like, ooh, no one's gonna call me. Like I could just be here as long as
Yeah,
I want.
that's also like very scary though, because it's like how did you? That's why the life expectancy was like 50 also,
Yeah.
because like everybody was getting lost and just dying and had no way to contact anybody, and like that sounds
I was just listening to a podcast with Theo Vaughn. He was joking about in,
love
like,
him.
This,
Me too. He's one of my
Love
favorites.
him.
So he's actually my favorite comedian.
Yeah,
I would say.
he's so
yeah,
funny.
he's hilarious.
For some reason, they got talking about how times were different back in the day, and how like in the 70s they were like, oh, women would just go missing, and no one like, and they're
Yeah,
like,
straight
you
up.
could just go grab a woman, and they're like, it's like, oh my god.
He says stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Bro, I was watching one it was his stand-ups, and it was along those lines, and he was talking about a woman jumped in his limo or something like that.
Yeah.
And she tried to do something, and he was like, she called me a pervert, and it had me cracking up.
He said she called me a creep and a pervert. He's like, and I am not a creep.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, I was just watching his interview with Logan Paul. Hilarious. He's too funny.
He's so funny.
He is too funny.
got-
I say it like that now.
My
Pervert.
favorite
Anytime it
podcast-
comes up.
Pervert.
Yeah, I love him talking about anything, just vests.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
wearing
anything.
all the
He was talking about when he was on
You
the
know-
Logan Paul interview. I'm sorry, and he was talking about his sister, and he was like, "Yeah, I thought she was good looking for a little bit." And they were looking at him like, "What?" And he was like, "No, we were like kids." And Logan was like, "How old were you guys?" And he was like, "I was probably like 13." And he was like, "Not like good looking, hot. Like I just thought shit like that's a nice looking kid." And I was
That's the type of stuff he
like,
says.
"Yeah."
That's
And he's
like-
looking, and they're all laughing. And he's looking like, "What? Like what is the problem?"
He has, his delivery. I don't know what that is, but
It's quality because he just keeps a straight face the whole time.
He doesn't
says
know
the
he's
most-
funny.
He says the most absurd shit, but just says it with the most serious face. Like it's.
yeah, I saw somebody gave him a compliment. They were like, "Man, you're funny, man. Like everything you say is just funny," and he was like, "So, anyways," and he like kept talking about something else. It was
And
like,
he doesn't even know how to respond.
yeah,
to it.
Do you
That's
listen to his
crazy.
podcast?
No, I don't, but I've been looking for more
So
podcasts to
funny.
get into because
Check out his podcast.
I ran through 85 South Show and Drink Champs, so
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I'm looking
I've
for.
been watching a lot of like Flagrant 2 with Andrew Schultz, and there's also Brilliant Idiots with Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne. Andrew Schultz is probably, I would say, he's about to be like the next big like
Really?
I've been
Chappelle
hearing about him
comedian.
a lot.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I wouldn't know. I don't know about Chappelle.
He's he's up there. Andrew Schultz is good.
Okay, you set the bar high. I'm like
That is very high.
I'm a comedian
very
connoisseur,
high.
so I'm about to be on there.
Yeah.
Looking for
Oh,
him.
are you a comedian connoisseur?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I-
Oh boy, Owen is.
Yeah,
is
she
what I
let me
say.
watch Kings of Comedy, but I couldn't listen to Young Money or this is I don't.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
She was Ron Delirious with Eddie Murphy. Wait, is it the same? Wait, is
Wait.
it just Raw or was it?
Oh.
I always get the names mixed up.
Yeah.
Where he has, like, the
Delirious, I
red-
think, is its
own one,
special.
right?
Yeah.
But he had the red. We had the red suit on.
Oh, raw and leather or something.
Yeah.
Right? When he's wearing,
Yeah,
like, I know what you're talking
I
about.
watched that one, but couldn't listen to like certain shit.
That-
So like I grew up, that's like a pastimer. I just like will look up different comedians. Dry Bar, hilarious.
Dry bar?
Yeah, look
Oh,
that
so
up. It's
we're-
hilarious. Yeah, we're gonna be friends after this.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm like,
Owen's
yeah.
big into the comedy.
I listen-
scene.
Not Howard Stern. He was on a Logan Paul
oh man.
podcast too. He did
Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel. That's
Oh,
what it
Howie
is.
Mandel,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Jesus Christ, I need to stop smoking.
I think
he,
you would probably like Tiger Belly with Bobby Lee or Bad Friends with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. And Andrew Santino, fun fact, plays Dave, aka Lil Dicky's best friend in the show Dave.
Wow.
So
I'm
it all
about to like
ties
get a
in.
note of all of this
Wow.
before I leave.
Yeah, no, there's so many podcasts I've like still been discovering more, but truth be told, I'm such a bro about it. I learned about so many of my podcasts through Joe Rogan, but I learned about so many other ones through the other ones. So here I am growing.
That's dope.
Yeah. But it's fun. I love podcasts, and that's sort of why I even wanted to get involved like with us here.
Yeah,
hmm
absolutely.
The
best.
conversation of it is just dope.
Yeah,
Getting different
Absolutely.
perspectives
It's
and
like,
stuff.
Yeah, it's so different than just like your standard interview. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? It's just like people just let loose, and you
Mm.
get to see like their actual personality.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
If they
we were
have
talking
one.
about it
If
earlier.
they have one, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we won't keep you all night. Is there? Do you have like merch? Anything you'd want to plug or? a
No merch
website?
right now, not yet. We're working on it, but the website is at MonaVeli.com. The link is
MonaVeli.com.
in my bio. Of course, Truth featuring Tsu Surf is out now.
Yes.
The video's on YouTube, featuring Lana. She's a dope dancer from Boston. She does all type of dance. Shot by Killer Looks. Shot in Sound Lab, so shout out to Sound Lab. And it's on all platforms. So go run those numbers up.
Of course.
Run it up.
Yeah.
Run them up.
Yes. Thank
yeah.
you guys for having me. This was so dope.
Absolutely. Thank you.
The
Thank you.
conversation was
MonaVeli.
dope, and I need to get notes on all the comedians and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
No one's on that.
And social media is MonaVeli everywhere.
Real MonaVeli on Instagram, Twitter. Yep. On all platforms, it's MonaVeli. MonaVeli. Capital V.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
All right. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming on.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it. MonaVeli, episode 102.
Yes.
Mhm.